If you guys are looking to buy or sell any of your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins in preparation for Team of the Season, check out u4gm.com and use code ELITE at checkout. The Team of the Season Premier League Guaranteed Tots SBC came out yesterday. By the time you see this, a day and a half ago. And with the release of that SBC, of course, we were going to see a rise in the market for a lot of these cards. All of these Team of the Seasons, once people opened this pack and didn't get the card that they wanted, they're going to go out on the market and buy it. So we started to see a little bit of a rise on a lot of these guys already, and including players like Ruben Diaz and Varane and Saliba, all of the best center backs in this promo. And if we take a look at Ruben Diaz, who I've thought was always undervalued, you're looking at a 96 rated Tots card with 88 pace, 97 defense, 97 physicality, and pretty solid distribution stats, as well as a 4-star weak foot. He got down to as low as 670,000 coins, and now he's back up to 700K. Of course, if you bought that card, you're looking good so far, but it could change, because today we're going to get another squad building challenge that could bring the price of all of the Premier League center backs down in price, making all of the other cards better investments. The midfielders, the wingers, the attackers are all going to be safer than the center backs to invest in. Now, it is risky if you wanted to hold on to them in hope that this SBC that does come out later today is going to be either way overpriced or just not a very usable card, and then people will go back to these center back cards and they'll go back up in price. But again, that's risky, and there's a lot of reliable investments that you guys can go with, and I'm going to show you guys the best Bundesliga investments as we get into Bundesliga Team of the Season starting on Friday. So first of all, we do have a Premier League Tots player pack to start off today's video, and if you've been enjoying the uploads, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Over half of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so don't let that be you. And on top of that, in our last video, which wasn't trading related, I put a lot of effort into it, saved packs for months, and did a lot of editing over last night. So if you want to check out that video, I know a lot of you guys missed it or just scrolled past it, but I think you guys will enjoy it, and we packed a lot of Team of the Seasons in it. And here is another one, PL Tots player pick. There's 3 cards we don't want: Ramsdale, Zinchenko, and please be, oh God, that's a duplicate. 92 rated dupe. We already have Odegaard. We packed him in yesterday's video. Again, if you saw yesterday's video, you'll know that. And I guess when I saw Norway, I kind of already knew. But deep down, I really wished that would have been finally Erling Haaland. But I'll find some other SBC to throw that card into. That stinks because I did throw in a lot of high-rated fodder to get that SBC, and now I have to figure out something else to go out and do. The SBC that I was mentioning, a center back from the Premier League, it is Laporte. I actually talked about him about a week ago on the channel, but he hadn't come out yet, and now we are getting confirmation that he's coming as an SBC today, Thursday, at 6 p.m. UK. So Spanish players that have already dropped for Team of the Season could go up a little bit, as well as Manchester City and Premier League links. All of the cards that have already started rising because of the release of the EPL Tots SBC. So whether that just be a weak link like Bukayo Saka, or a strong link such as Ramsdale, or not Ramsdale, I guess any of the Manchester City attackers or midfielders like De Bruyne or Erling Haaland, those cards might be a little bit above the budget that meets the people that are completing Laporte, but you get the point. The cards that link to this card could go up in price if it's good value. However, it might not be. We've seen a lot of these SBCs released so far during this promo that are slightly underwhelming. I mean, Alan St. Maximin is probably the only one that I've actually gone out and done, and that card was 700,000 coins when it came out as an SBC. So they might overprice him, or they might not juice his stats up to the point where we're looking at right now with those stats. Looks pretty good. These aren't the confirmed stats, though. So with that being said, they might only give him like 82 or 83 pace, maybe only 92 defense, 90 physicality. It might be lower than what we see here. And even if they make that cheap, how many people would actually get that for their starting 11 at this point in the game? We've had so many upgrade packs. We've had so many guaranteed packs. We've had so many saved packs open for Team of the Season already. People have good squads now. how many people are going to add a Laporte to it if it's not juiced up? So it has to be juiced up if it wants to have a good impact on the market. And if it does, the cards that I mentioned, like Ruben Diaz and Saliba and Varane, will go down in price as people will replace them with that Laporte. And Ruben Diaz especially, because he's a Manchester City link. So anybody who bought Manchester City link Ruben Diaz for that reason is definitely going to replace it with that Laporte. But it's not the only SBC that we're going to be getting over the course of the next week. We've already got some Bundesliga Team of the Season leaks, and I'm going to show you guys those right now. Mane is going to come as a Bundesliga Team of the Season moments card during the promo, and as Foot Sheriff says, for what? I don't know. It is a moments card, so it's not necessarily for the entire season. It's for a moment in the season, and I don't know what moment it is for, but it does look like a pretty good card. The only downside to that is if you've already done the SBC Sadio Mane that came out during Team of the Year, the card will probably look rather similar. You're looking at a flashback Team of the Year SBC right here with a 93 rating, 94 pace, 92 dribbling, 88 shooting, 83 physicality, 86 passing. We already saw a card that looks like this, and that looks awfully similar, except for the fact that it might be able to play in a striker, a more central role, because that is what he's been playing more so for Bayern Munich. The next card that is leaked, guys, is Nkunku, but don't be fooled, as you can see, he's going to be in packs and not in SBC, which kind of makes sense given the fact that he was an SBC during FUT birthday, and a lot of people did that very, very expensive SBC. It would be a bit weird for them to drop another SBC for Nkunku only a month after the last one. In fact, that Nkunku SBC is still in SBCs right now. You can still go out and do it. So it would have been weird. So I think EA recognized that and changed it. But you could argue Nkunku doesn't even deserve to be in Team of the Season, as he's been hurt for pretty much half the season. Not to say he has played bad when he's not been hurt. He has played very well. It's just he's barely played at all this season. So it is crazy that he's getting a Tots card. But it looks like they're just trying to juice this promo. But there's one card that has been leaked as an SBC, and it's the next one. But we also have one more Bayern Munich player to get through, and that is Leon Goretzka. His card, always very well balanced. As you can see, it's a Tots Moments card, and it's got 86 plus on every single stat. It's getting closer and closer for us to see a Team of the Season card with 90 plus on each stat. I'm not sure if we're going to see that during Team of the Season, but it'll probably come during Fuddies or Summer Heat in any of the following promos after Ultimate Tots, because we're getting very close to finally getting a card with 90 plus on every single stat. The first time that ever happened was Raja Nainggolan in Team of the Season a couple years ago. So this is a very, very close shout to that. And then the SBC, guys, is going to be Marco Reus. So your Dortmund links, guys, you've obviously got that Mats Hummels birthday card. And then on top of that, people who have Guerrero's SBC, who have Meunier's SBC. And then you've also got the tradable Team of the Year, Jude Bellingham. That one's a little shaky, though, because he is almost undoubtedly going to get a Team of the Season as well, as he is one of the best players in Bundesliga over the last couple of years, and especially this year. So Marco Reus is going to get that card. He's got a couple of cards already in the game, but Mats Hummels has a FUT birthday card, which did spike up a ton after release and then has come down in price ever since. So he was about 60 to 70, about 70K, spiked up to 120,000 coins. But as you can see, over the course of the last month, has gotten all the way down to 35K. And ever since the release of that leaked Marco Reus SBC, Mats Hummels has gone back up from 35,000 coins to 40,000 coins. Here's the deal, though. We're about to get a bunch more Bundesliga Team of the Season cards. And given the fact that Dortmund are still in that title race, just 1 point behind Bayern, they've had an incredible season. There's going to be a few of the Dortmund players in this promo. Mats Hummels is not going to be one of them, but they could have Rafael Guerreiro in there. They could have Gregor Kobel at goalkeeper. They could have Nico Schlotterbeck at center back. They could even have, of course, Jude Bellingham is definitely going to get in there. But there's a lot of different Dortmund links that you can use instead of just Hummels. So there's going to be other options come Friday. So I think if you're investing in this card, it's a little bit premature. And unless Marco Reus drops on Friday, this card's probably going to go down on Friday. So I would wait. If you want to invest in this card or any of the other complementary links, wait till Friday. And if Marco Reus does come out on Friday, then you can rash invest right after release, or you can just move on to the next investment. But I think it's a little bit risky to buy this card right now in anticipation that they're going to drop Marco Reus on the first day, which is probably not going to happen. They'll probably wait till at least Saturday, Sunday, or Monday before they drop that Marco Reus. The next thing I do want to talk about, guys, is the fodder cards. If you did invest at their lowest point, or you invested a little early like me and needed to get out, yesterday was a great day to do so. As you guys can see, we'll take a look at the 14-hour graph of Memphis Depay. And with the release of the new squad building challenge for the Premier League team of the season, as you guys can see, they did go back up all the way to 7.4 thousand coins, and their lowest point was 5.9. So they went up over 1,000 coins, and they're still up about 600 coins. But the cards that really spiked up weren't the 85s. It was the 87s. They're up in price quite significantly from what their lowest point was. And at 14,000 coins, it's a pretty good sell point. You can see they got down to 10,000 coins. I saw them under 10K for a little bit. And at the release of the new SBC, they got up to 14,000 coins, and they've stayed up there, as you guys can see. The 87s are needed for the EPL SBC. You not only need an 87 rated team, but for the 85 rated team, you need two 87s. So most people go with two 87s and then just throw a bunch of 84s in the other team. So 85s weren't necessarily that needed for the SBC, while 87s were, and it shows. So these cards have been targeted. They are going to stay up in price for the next 24 hours or so, but it also allows us to maybe have another sell point for 86s or 88s, maybe even 85s, depending on what SBCs we get over the course of the next day or so. So with that being said, we are finding a way out for any SBC investments that we made prematurely, and we're not losing any coins or losing very minimal coins. And for those of you that timed it really, really well, which wasn't me, I got in several days too early, then you're making good profit on that already. So very, very good job on that if that is you. As we venture towards Bundesliga Team of the Season, I'm going to show you guys the Community Team of the Season cards that went up during the week of Premier League Tots. Once they went out of packs, which cards went up, which cards went down. So that's going to help you know what to buy and what to avoid during the investments for the Premier League Team of the Seasons if you haven't made them yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at these right now. As you guys can see, here are their prices, and you might remember a few of them from before this week if you were keeping track of their prices when Community Tots was out. Like Gabriel Jesus is up a little bit right now. He's up to 2.9 million coins. He was down at about 2.5 during the time in packs. Now, I do want you guys to understand, he was actually down to less than 2.3 mil, so he's almost up. He's up 600K right now. But I do want you guys to understand that these cards aren't really this expensive right now. He might be closer to 2.8 mil. It's just very late at night right now, so it's 3:38 a.m. There's not a lot of people online. In Europe, they're not awake yet, and in North America, they're asleep. So most of the market is asleep. So some of these cards are a little more expensive than what they'd actually be, but in general, it gives us a good idea. Of course, over the last 14 days, this card has risen in price since his exiting of packs on Friday. Now, if you take a look back at that team of the season, you can also see there are a lot of cards that dropped in price. Alexis Sanchez, 950K, and if you take a look at his graph, he has gone from 1.3 million coins. He exited packs at 1.2. He's gone all the way down to 900,000 coins. That card has crashed in price. Then if you take a look at some of the other big boys during this promo, such as, I guess you can take a look at Coman, and this is a good one to look at because Bundesliga Tots is on the way. His card went from 550,000 coins when he exited packs and went all the way down to 400K at his lowest point. He's been sitting at about 420,000 coins. As you can see, over the course of the last day, he's risen a little bit. Just a few hours ago, he was 430K. Right now, it's showing him at 490. Do not spend that much on him. Do not spend nearly 490K. You can get him for 450 or less. Then I'd say pull the trigger, grab that card. Because if you take a look at all of the Premier League cards during that promo, well, we already looked at Gabriel Jesus, and that card went up about 600,000 coins. This Bernardo Silva right here at 1.6 or 1.7 million coins is quite a bit more than the 1 million coins he was in packs. And then as he exited packs at 1.2 mil, he is still up another 400K. So, of course, during Premier League Tots, you had the release of a whole team that links with this Bernardo Silva, a bunch of objectives that people got free cards from, and then also a bunch of SBCs. They all linked to that Bernardo Silva that was not in packs anymore. So the demand was still there. In fact, the demand probably went up for these Premier League cards like Bernardo Silva, but the supply was gone. So it went up in price a ton, which means that Kingsley Coman is probably going to follow a very similar pattern. We're going to get a lot of Bayern cards, and especially once Bayern, or not Bayern, but once the Bundesliga Team of the Season guaranteed pack releases in SBCs, a lot of those guys will get Bayern players in that pack because there's going to be at least like 4 or 5 Bayern players in this team. So all this Bayern content and Bundesliga content is going to link with Coman. On top of that, Coman also gets a nice French link. And of course, France is one of the most common nations to link with. It's going to be a great card to pick up right now and rise over the course of the next week. So if you're going to make an investment, I would look for him at 450,000 coins or less over the course of the next 24 hours and pick him up before the actual release of the Bundesliga Team of the Season. But again, do not spend 500K on him. He is only this expensive because everybody is asleep, and he will go down at least a few thousand coins over the course of the next few hours once everybody wakes back up. But this gives us a good idea on what cards to invest in. It also tells us, Morata, obviously was overinvested in, went down in price from 88s because fodder went down, and since fodder didn't go up, there's absolutely no reason people are using Morata in their teams because he stinks. And that was the case for a couple of these cards. Even De Gea hasn't really risen in price at all, even with the release of the new Premier League Tots. De Gea as a goalkeeper, and not that great of a goalkeeper in the game, has not risen much in price. But as we get closer to each team of the season, then I think that their respective leagues will rise in price from the community tots. So Kim and Jay, once Serie A comes around, could be a good shout. Once Ligue 1 comes around, Thuram and Alexis Sanchez could be a good shout. And Rodrigo is catching my eye just because he hasn't really dropped in price since the release of this promo. He's kind of stayed steady. So with him not dropping in price a ton, he rose up at the exiting packs at about 1.6 to 1.7 mil. He's still kind of sitting there. So he hasn't gone down in price, even with no content revolving around La Liga, which means that I think once we actually do get La Liga content, we could see him rise up to closer to 2 million coins. So if you want to get in on one of those investments a little earlier, once we get the voting or any leaks for the next team of the season, the one that's coming out after Bundesliga, then go in on these community tots investments early. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, do not forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're going to shoot for 200 likes today, and our secret comment word of the day is Odegaard. So if you guys type Odegaard down below in the comments, I'll make sure to drop a heart in appreciation for you watching all the way through in my videos. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.